When will they actually be able to hear me? I don't have any headphones. Should I have headphones? Should I have headphones for this thing? How can I hear
we're live.
Jay?
What's up, MPX addicts, and welcome to MPX Rehab. And as you can see, it's a bit of a change of setting today because, well, unfortunately, my normal co-host Kyle is out sick, and so Richard to the rescue.
Yes, I have no headphones. I can't hear anything you're saying, Jay.
What?
Yep. Yep, there it is.
Yeah. But
welcome to MPX, everybody.
yeah, we're here actually at the MPX Event Center, and by the grace of the boss himself, we're able to do this, and we're doing it live. And so I gotta say, this is going to probably be fairly interesting because normally it's just me and Kyle speculating, and now I'm actually going to have the guy who does the stuff here.
We also are doing it during a training session, so when you hear the loud noises in the background, that's exactly what's happening.
There's always people here training at MPX. That's why they're the best.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
And Kirby, that's a lie. We do not have the lights on all the time.
No. But MPX's Parabellum was last Saturday, and I was actually interesting show.
I liked it. I think everything about Parabellum was interesting and exciting, and we had a lot of surprises happen. I think that if every show could go like Parabellum did, it shows you exactly why you don't want to miss anything at MPX. I can't use these. These are earbuds, producer person.
I'll switch with you.
Let's switch. I can't put Jay's earbuds in my ears.
I don't even know if those are my earbuds or Kyle's earbuds at this point. Nothing's marked anymore.
Yeah, let's move this. Let's move this stuff out of the way here. I can't even hear myself talk, so that didn't do any good at all. Could you hear me when you were talking on these?
A little bit.
You couldn't hear nothing. These aren't even plugged in.
They're plugged in. Are mine?
The subtraction of Kyle does nothing to help the show.
No. And if you hear people tell it, it's usually the subtraction of me that makes the show better.
Yeah, those aren't even on.
They're on.
I guarantee you they're not.
Turn up the thing a bit.
Hopefully everybody at home can hear me. My messenger is open, especially to you, Kyle, while you're at home suffering and I'm in your spot. So go ahead and message me at any time during the show, and I'd be happy to check it out and maybe even read it to you on the air.
We'll see. But honestly, I've got to say, it's like, if I might say I was a little upset about one thing, it's the double turn. Not like double turn.
A double turn?
Not as in somebody going face, somebody going heel. It's just like two turns in one night.
Who turned?
Because you had the Jackson Stone turn during the
everybody
six-pack challenge.
It wasn't a turn. They beat him up.
Yeah. And that's the turn I was talking about. It involved Jackson Stone, so therefore.
Well, no, Jackson got kicked out of his partnership with Larger Than Life and Joangelo Garcia, but I wouldn't say his attitude changed.
And then, of course, the Frankie reveal at the end.
Because Frankie was always such a good guy?
Well,
I don't think that. I think your definition of turn is wrong. Frankie's going after the guy he thinks beat him up that we haven't seen the footage of, but that's who Frankie says it is. So believe Frankie.
But it was two major events like that happening in one night, one right after the other.
Yeah, it was a big important night. If you missed it, that's your fault.
Yeah.
I told you to be there.
I made it kind of hard to, like keep one processing while the other was going on.
Kept you on your toes.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's like a roller coaster ride that just kept going up this weekend.
Try these again. Should be working now. Can you hear me now? No?
They do not have any of their equipment working. Hopefully you can hear me, MPX addicts.
You should be able to hear it. Okay, yeah, she can hear us. So
as long as I get heard, that's all that matters.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like that's just my personal opinion as a spectator.
Yeah, from my opinion, there was no turn by Frankie. Frankie was looking for vengeance, and there was no turn by Jackson Stone. Jackson just simply didn't want to lose, and they wanted him to, lay down for Joangelo Garcia, and he refused. And you know what happens when you don't do the things Larger Than Life wants? I mean,
you take a 4K,
or you get your show taken over.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah, but.
They're not working. Don't take them back. It's a trap.
Either or. Just, I guess unplug it. We're live, ladies and gentlemen.
You'll tell me if I get loud.
Yeah. because I can hear him perfectly through these.
The voice. No, I'm not.
No, he's just the mind of the MPX.
So let's talk about Parabellum.
Yeah, okay. So the first match of the night was actually it was a match that I was expecting a little more build up for, simply because they were trying to build it up between themselves. Gabe Wilder, Jason Silver.
Oh, COVID bingo. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, COVID bingo.
COVID bingo.
That's what happened with that one.
Card subject to change.
It was a great matchup because Gabe Wilder, he's still fairly new and just has all kinds of energy to him. And while Jason's back doing his full vampire thing now, and it's just like it really kind of matched up well. And it was actually great to see Gabe doing one on his own.
I think the matchup, I mean, it was a good matchup, and it was the power that Gabe got to show off against Silver, which he doesn't show a lot in a tag team match because Gabe's not a giant by any means.
No.
But with Silver in the ring, he is a slighter build. So watching Gabe use the power stuff, especially in the beginning, just a shoulder tackle, he was exploding on Silver to try to, show you the difference between the two styles.
Himself refusing to move or anything like that, that really worked out. It made him look a lot stronger.
Absolutely.
Even in defeat, he got a lot stronger with that. And also, we got Carl back on Saturday as well, which makes a lot of MPX addicts happy, and I don't know, maybe some other people not quite so happy.
It made Travis Trueborn ecstatic because he didn't have to do the whole show.
Oh, yeah, because we seem to have lost a referee.
He's lost somewhere in the clouds of smoke, probably.
Jeez. I keep telling him, it's like, you need to put it down before the show, otherwise you're just going to forget you're even supposed to be there.
Moderation is the key, young Brandon.
Yeah. But, we hope he's doing well and, future endeavors.
You were talking to me about Chronic before the show.
I said it was a chronic issue, not a chronic as in... But Gabe Wilder, honestly, I got to say, it's like he and his brother are early contenders for Rookie of the Year between the two of them.
I'm not 100% sure they're rookies, to be honest with you.
From
I think
what
they've
I've
been at
told,
CWF for a minute, but I don't know how long. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's like from what I had been told by people who are at CWF that, it's like they're like as rookie, if not more rookie than Casey and Noah.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. So, and they've been showing up a lot. I know that they've come and sought out Kirby for some extra training in addition to what they've done at CWF. So I think that getting both those styles is just really going to help them out as their career goes on.
I'm hoping one day we get to see Casey and Noah versus the boys, because that would be an exciting matchup between the two of them. Not quite sure how it would work out, angle-wise, but, we'll leave that to you.
My mom says she sees me on YouTube. That was my first message, by the way, guys. My mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. My mom is also a former MPX star.
Oh, really?
Yes. Some of you, if you ever see my mom, you'd recognize her.
Oh.
I won't say from where, but.
Okay. But then after that, speaking of tag teams that are energetic, Los Carnales took on Larger Than Life, trying to take the MPX tag team titles, which I've got to say, you've kept it up pretty good so far. I'm just wondering where we're going to go with the no repeat tag teams for the defenses.
Clearly, the team will be Casey Clay and Sky De La Cremosa to take the tag team titles from them. That's the only team that could ever beat them. But no, we've made a deal with Larger Than Life that they will not have to continue to face a team that they've already defeated.
Yeah.
So, number one, this benefits us as a company because we will be bringing in different combinations and different wrestlers also to showcase against our tag team champions. Number two, if one of them does happen to knock them off, they become overnight stars.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm actually looking forward to that because I came to a realization the past week that I've been here for about 3 years now, and during that 3 years, I'd say about 2 of it, not all at the same time, but about 2 years worth of time, Larger Than Life in whatever iteration have been the tag team champions.
They are that good. I mean, from their first tag match was the first night they ever tagged together. They were scheduled to face each other in a one-on-one contest. And as we remember, those of us who were there, that infamous video we caught of them chatting in the bathroom they decided they weren't going to have a one-on-one match, that they were too good of friends to do that, and they refused to do it. And instead, their very first night here, they teamed up to face Jason Silver and Leva Bates, the infamous Buffy the Vampire Slayer cosplay that ended in her not killing Jason Silver, unfortunately. But we did see another. We saw another Slayer that night, anyway. But that was that night, and ever since then, it's been off to the races. That was also the first night that Jamie Aller ever went to the ring with either one of them.
Really?
That's how good they've been.
Even Kyle didn't tell me that one.
That's how good they've been. That was during the creative control days, where I was in charge of all creative, and Jamie was with me, and Mike Fox, and Sarah Fox, and then of course, we had a referee named Dave Sagan at one point, and of course
Dave
then
Sagan, whatever happened to him?
He's in a casket somewhere right now. And then of course we got Kirby onto our side, but that was then Tommy and Ryan really branched off with Jamie, and it was off to the races for them.
Yeah, no, and it's been a skyrocket moment for them for 3 years at least, and I'm impressed by them, but at the same time, it's just like, is there anybody that can really challenge them? And I'm not just talking like beat them for a cup of coffee. I mean, Punch Drunk Love, the Berserkers. It's like you had all these teams that beat them, and then they remain champion for a month, 2 at most, and then it seems like it goes right back to larger than life.
They don't like to lose.
No,
they want those belts.
And honestly, it's like I thought initially that it's like with Jamie being gone, it'd be a whole lot easier to beat them. But no, they seem to have a much harder drive now.
I mean, you got to remember it's 2.5 years, I think we just said, of sitting there listening to Jamie. They're going to get all their tactics down. They know what he likes to do. Yeah. They've implemented it. They're not all of a sudden going to throw that to the wayside.
There is, it's an irreplaceable.
Yeah, advantage. You were the one that said they couldn't win without outside interference. I remember that on Mainline a couple times.
Yeah.
And you've really been proven wrong.
And I got proven wrong. It's almost like somebody listened and really fought hard for that.
That was a long time ago. It wasn't me.
Los Carnales came in, and honestly, I think Cesar Torres signed his death warrant on Saturday night with that shot to the face on Ryan.
I mean, you got to take those shots if you want to win. Yeah. But yeah, as soon as that hit, I mean, a switch clicked in Ryan Remington.
It was a whole different Ryan Remington. Mr. Match of the Night went from being honestly kind of a goofball with a lot of talent to the devastating monster he can be when he really gets serious.
And that's what he needs to do. There's a lot of goofiness with Larger Than Life, let's face it.
And it's a lot of fun to watch.
And you think you're going to take advantage of it, and you're more than welcome to try, but once you do, you see what happens.
Yeah, and it's like you really got to watch your shots around them. If you hit them just wrong, they're going to kill you. I mean, it's like some of those hits from Ryan looked like he was really trying to just take off Caesar's head completely.
Oh, the shot to the back right after that happened, I could definitely tell you was still with Caesar at this point.
Oh, jeez.
I'll tell you, though, Emilio Guzman, I absolutely love Emilio Guzman.
Kyle likes to call him Eddie Reborn.
He does look like Eddie Guerrero a lot in the face, doesn't he?
It's like in the face and everything like that, and then he comes out and he puts on that same swagger and air, and it's like, okay, I like that. That's really good.
He wears a long tight, so immediately you're thinking Eddie. I mean, if we could just get the guy a mullet.
Yeah.
But he's both those guys are real nice guys. I like having them here. They're very talented. They live far away. That's the big problem about bringing them in right now is it's a drive. It's a haul.
Yeah, it's like that's the problem with a lot of some of the really great tag teams is the fact that it's like they've beaten every tag team in Dallas. Now to get anybody from outside of Dallas, that's a trip and a half.
Pretty much everybody in Dallas, Austin, and Houston, really, as far as the normal combos go. There's a couple in Houston that we're talking to about coming in, but really right now, you're trying not to do any long trips if you can. It's very difficult. All that being said, a big spoiler for this week, we got somebody flying in.
Oh, really?
So, it does happen, but we try to bring as much talent as we can into MPX to challenge these guys, to challenge
Yeah.
not only them, but challenge the rest of the roster too.
Hey, maybe, just maybe somebody will be able to take it. Hopefully, it won't be like a certain tag team that no longer exists, in which they'll take the tag team and then take tag team belts and then take them home.
They took them to Houston.
Yeah,
Not to, I mean, let's get the toilet of Texas, if you will.
I call it the Jersey of Texas, but same difference.
Oh, and they brought that. Kiefer Bartek brought that stupid ponytail of his.
And it's
man
gone
bun.
now.
God.
He's
It
turned
rotted.
his,
It rotted in Houston.
yeah, and it's like he's turned to the law, and so now he's on the straight and narrow.
Didn't you march with Black Lives Matter? Those were the guys you were marching against. I'm just saying. The sheriff, he'd have been on the other side of that fence.
Yeah, true. But after that, we got Matlock, who is still with Dexter Hardaway, especially even after the week before.
Veteran presence.
Yeah, he's. I don't know how that's working out for him.
He's getting. How many times have I listened to this show? How many times have I listened to Mainline? And you and Kyle just spout out about the veteran knowledge of Dexter Hardaway and how everybody in the ring can benefit from Dexter.
Then that's absolutely true. But it seems like
is
there's
it
a
true?
Disconnect between Matt and Dexter on this one.
So maybe you're wrong.
I don't know. Maybe Matt's not listening to him.
Or maybe you're wrong and you can't learn anything from Dexter.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, from other people, they've said that they learned a lot from him.
Any of them been mentees to his mentorship?
I don't know about directly.
I mean, you can learn how to get punched in the face if you're facing somebody, but can he teach you?
Yeah.
See, that's what you got to remember.
True.
Dexter's teaching Matt all the subtle things in wrestling, the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's learning from Dexter, because it's not how to win. Not at all.
That is very true. I mean, he took on Tommy Prince of the boys.
We just call him the Mad Prince now.
The Mad Prince?
We got too many Tommies.
Yeah, Tommy Prince, Tommy Dean, Tommy Becker.
The Mad Prince.
Yeah. And the Mad Prince, that works, but will that, conflict with another Mad World type character?
Nope.
No?
No, we just call him Malico.
Oh, okay.
You guys say Mad World. You never see us being Mad. We don't say Mad World.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay. But the Mad Prince was basically he was on fire on Saturday.
He was. He came in pumped up.
Uh-huh.
And the reason they call him the Mad Prince, I know nobody knows this. To try to tell the story correctly, way back in like 98 or 99, I can't remember the exact year, I was backstage at a WWE show for NWA. And I saw Edge at this show.
Nice.
And they were going to do a promo. And have you ever seen Edge in the sunglasses smiling that maniacal smile?
Mm-hmm.
The Mad Prince came in Saturday, and I swear to God, he had the same smile on his face.
Oh, nice.
And I don't even know why. He was just happy to be here, I think. I don't know. Or he's happy to be in the ring. Or he's happy to be in there physically causing pain on somebody. Yeah. I don't know. But the kid's weird.
Hannibal Lecter
He's
mask.
weird. He's weird.
Yeah. And I don't know. I kind of like it. It's it's cool.
He's a fun kind of weird. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But that guy'll snap someday. You mark my words right here. You two. Posterity.
It'll be fun to watch that too.
You think? You just don't want to be on the other end of it.
That is true. That is true. I do what I can to not be on the other end of it.
What was the third match, Jay?
No, that was the third match.
What was the fourth match, Jay?
The fourth match was
Take
the
that part
MPX
out in editing later.
We're live.
Fuck.
Well, the fourth match was the MPX Addicts Championship match between CJ Ward and Red Chambers. And Eden Grace brought up a good point here. Why did Red get an opportunity? That was what, his third match? Why did he get an opportunity, but an undefeated powerhouse like Brixton Shaw hasn't seen, a hint of gold yet?
So if you watch the MPX network this Friday, you might get those answers, but I'll fill you and the people who watch this video in just a little bit quicker than that. She sat in on commentary with us.
Mm-hmm.
Eden Grace did. And in case you didn't know, Brixton Shaw is undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case you didn't know.
Oh,
because while she's on with us, she probably said it 50 times. And why doesn't Brixton have this match? And why this, why that? And she said, you would think that MPX would want Brixton here. They do.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think's standing in the way of that? I don't know. Maybe it's because you're a little bit difficult to deal with. Not Brixton. He's pretty easy to deal with because I don't get to talk to Brixton anymore. We talk to Eden Grace. Maybe she a bitch, Jay. I don't know. Maybe some days I just don't want to deal with her, trying to hassle with her. And then all of a sudden, you know what? I'll give you a shot to Red Chambers. You wanted to know the truth? You want the big backstage scoop? It's kind of a B.
So are you trying to start a war with Brixton?
Not at all. Brixton would destroy me. You know, I couldn't beat him like I did Brett McKenzie. I'm pretty certain of that.
Sure, that's how that happened.
It's exactly how it happened. It's been documented, and I've got proof. Brixton Shaw is a monster. He's undefeated, and we definitely want to see more Brixton Shaw on MPX, and we'll have Brixton Shaw, I can now confirm, this weekend.
Oh.
But I don't know why he brought in this headache with him. He was much easier to deal with on his own. She's very demanding, and quite honestly,
my show twice.
She gets on my nerves. And if you listen to her talk on the show, she sounds like Minnie Mouse screaming at you.
I have.
You ever get screamed at by Minnie Mouse?
Yes, actually, I have. But
you got a weird sex life, Jay. Weird sex life.
Red Chambers definitely put on a good showing here, but that did not end well for him at all. It's just CJ is a technical master.
CJ Ward is another pain in the ass. CJ Ward.
Hopefully not for the reason he'd want it to be.
CJ Ward makes less money per show now since he's become MPX Addicts champion than any other wrestler on the show. Why? Because we dock his pay every time the guy goes onto Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. And he does these evil, evil things with the belt that nobody should see or hear.
Do people enjoy these things? I don't know. I don't get it. It's just weird. But Red Chambers coming out with a Psyduck of all things. Seriously. It's like a Psyduck.
I didn't even know what it was called.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a duck. I'd have the intern tell me it was a duck.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It was a Psyduck.
And then it did nothing while it was standing there.
Catching it.
It did nothing while it was there.
Yeah.
What was the point?
I don't know. And
this is the part where Jay's all like on mainline going, and this was incredible. No, this sucked. This sucked.
Yeah.
I hated it. And as God is my witness, if I see another, what's it called? Duck here, the Tony Roma hockey stick will come out and it'll go straight up its ass. I'll never have that on the show again. I promise you. Sorry.
Well, you heard it here. Psyduck is no longer going to be at MPX.
Posterity.
Yeah.
Red Chambers, I hate you. I don't get this Pokemon stuff.
Well, it's because you're older. Kids.
There's shot number 1 from Jay. I got you, Jay.
But let's go ahead and move on.
Got a lot of gray hair over there for somebody talking all that shit.
I am what's called an elder millennial, apparently.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So fifth match was Dexter Hardaway with Matt Locke on his side taking on Casey Clay. And this one went about as predictably as you'd think because even though he enjoyed a short win streak for a little while and even a reign as MPX Addicts champion,
yes,
Dexter is kind of just back in true form with his win-loss streak.
Dexter Hardaway is your classic overachiever in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. Number 1, no one expected him to have a career this long. Number 2, no one expected him to last this long in a relationship with Nova Phoenix. Number 3, no one can believe he's not dead from this relationship with Nova Phoenix. Classic overachiever. And according to Jay and Kyle, has a fountain of experience and knowledge to pass on to another generation. Now they hate it that it's actually happening. But I think he almost had this match.
Matt's not a good fit for him as a mentor or student.
Dexter had this match pretty well under control. I think the pressure of it being for an MPX title shot is what hurt him.
See, that wasn't announced to the Addicts.
That's Andre's fault, not mine.
No. Okay.
If you watch the MPX network, I feel you all in on that.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I yelled at Andre, everybody. Don't worry.
It's actually better to be at home watching the network rather than here at the show.
That instance it is. I like to watch them live, and then I think you should go back and then watch it on the network afterwards, because then you get both worlds. You get the live environment, and then you get Cody, Tyler, and myself on the show on the network.
So you know what? On Friday when Parabellum comes out on the MPX network, make sure you watch it so you can hear everything, all of the wisdom and information that we missed.
There's nowhere else to go on Fridays anymore.
Eh,
You might as well sit at home, get your bag of Doritos or your pizzas or whatever it is that MPX addicts like. Pickles, apparently they like pickles a lot because we sell a lot of those. And just sit back and listen to all the fun because we have a great time. And I'm telling you what, if you didn't see Parabellum, it's a super underrated show, in my opinion. I expected a lot more people to be excited about what happened in this, or at least talking about it. To me, it was a fantastic show.
It really was.
And I don't say, I mean, I'm the worst critic about anything that happens. I come back, I'm grumpy, I'm mad. This didn't, everything that could go wrong happens.
Wrestlers, this is absolutely true.
Yeah, I am. And they had a great show this past weekend, and I was real happy after it was over with. I mean, obviously some people got hurt and everything else, but you know that's part of the fun. But you're gonna love this show when you watch it. I don't know how else I can tell you.
And it was a good show,
And we're not even to the semi-main yet.
Yeah, no, actually, that's what's up next. So for the sixth match was the six-pack elimination challenge for the MPX Prospect Championship, with the Prospect Championship being back in play. I've got to say that I was a little torn as to who I wanted to see win, simply because of who all was in the match. I mean, it's guys I know personally. It's guys I can.
You wanted Johnny O'Mara to win. We all know.
Actually, I was actually torn between Johnny and, believe it or not, Joe. Because
he thought Joe was going to win. He wanted Johnny to win.
If you want to put it that way, that
Miss Producer, am I right? It's good that she was paying attention.
Oh,
yeah, that was good.
But it's like when
she gives me the dirty look, like I was the one not listening. You got to put up with this at home too. Jesus.
When we saw that Thrash was going to be in this match, it was very obvious that he was going to be an easy favorite, just with the sheer power that he brings into it. And with the distraction of the other competitors, nobody would be able to, just equal him directly.
Well, I think Thrash proved how dominant he can be by getting the win against Zero to get into this match. And I think that the rest of the competitors in that match immediately saw him as that threat. And you saw them put everything else aside and say, let's get this big son of a...
Yeah. It made for the shock ending for Thrash's part in this match with all 5 other members of the match piling on top of him to get the pin.
I didn't even know that was legal.
Neither did I. I thought that would be counted as a pin break, but...
I think what happened next to that match, though, as shocking as that was, and as like, I'm not sure you should do that, what followed that had me almost come unglued on commentary. And that was Nate Collins breaking up a pin.
Yeah, that one didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Nate, it's an elimination match. Get rid of him.
And honestly, it would have made it easier on him. He might have actually lasted a little longer. But.
Now, maybe. But the only reason I can think that maybe what he was thinking, and I didn't get to talk to him after the show, is it was obvious from the get-go that Joe Angelo Garcia and Jackson Stone were working together and watching each other's backs. I don't know if Nate thought the more people I keep in this not named Jackson Stone, Joe Angelo Garcia, the better off I am. But still, it's an elimination match, and there's no guarantee that guy you're helping is going to get your back, Nate. To me, it was bad strategy on his part. I mean, he did make it all the way to the final 3. Yeah, but still, I
with him being the one to eliminate Johnny O'Mara,
go in there and curb stomp the guy doing the pin, man. Don't break that thing up. Get your pin right afterwards.
Yeah, it's like that could have worked better in his favor. It's like he could have capitalized on that.
But we got ahead. Thrash has been eliminated.
And then it was Tommy.
Tommy Dean.
Yep.
Who I really like Tommy Dean. He's a favorite backstage. That guy has a lot of supporters that want him to do really well and get better, and he is getting better in my opinion. And he can fly, man.
Yeah, no, he's really good. And honestly, I'd love to see more from him, but unfortunately, he's one of those Oklahoma guys, so it takes a little while for him to get down.
Yeah, it's another drive. It's a drive, but they do they want to be on the show badly, and we've had all sorts of guys come down from Oklahoma. Dexter Hardaway before he moved down here, Tommy Dean, Thrash, Wesley Crane, Magnificent Malico. I mean, there's a lot of talent up there.
Yeah.
Again, it's a drive.
Stuck in Oklahoma.
It's a drive, yeah.
So Tommy Dean took the next pin, And then after that, it was a four-way battle between it's like Johnny and Nate. I think this is where the real disconnect happened for them because the two of them should have realized that Joe and Jackson are working together.
They had to have realized it by then, but they weren't. Again, they're thinking elimination style. They're going against 3 guys each.
Yeah.
Jackson and Joe are only going against 2.
Yeah, and that really just kind of broke things up. And it's like why Nate eliminated Johnny is beyond. He should have been, in my opinion, he should have been capitalizing on the fact that he had somebody else who would want to see, Jackson and Joe hobbled.
But he's going against the whole strategy he had early in the match. Early in the match, I'm going to keep these guys in here to help me, with, larger than life, Jackson Stone, Joe Angelo Garcia, their allies. And then he completely flips it. But at the same time, he's got to take it. He got to eliminate him.
Yeah.
So he's taking advantage when he can.
I mean,
it's a real double-edged sword. You're betting on yourself heavily at that point.
Yeah, and it's like even after that, he gave it a good fight. He was ready to go against both Joe and Jackson.
And not only that, you saw I saw at least one instance where he went for a pinfall on Jackson. Joe did not help. He stayed in that corner and watch that on the network. Watch that right there. That should tell you guys something.
I
know Larger Than Life was at ringside.
Split was planned. Maybe they knew that Jackson wasn't just going to lay down.
Well, if that's the goal, though, like if he knows or if he thinks that Jackson is going to lay down, it wouldn't hurt for Jackson to be eliminated. But Jackson made sure Joe stayed in there until the end. So I think the intentions for both of them going in were the same, but I don't think they both acted the same. No. I think Joe had a little bit of, let's make it a lot easier on me.
Yeah. But Larger Than Life coming out after after Johnny was eliminated, and basically Nate could see the writing on the wall, and
4-on-1.
He refused to go down without a fight. He gave as hard as he could on the wall.
Well, do you think he should have gone down without a fight? Do you think he should have laid down?
No, obviously not. But
did you expect Nate to give up?
No.
Okay. I mean, but you're putting it over like he refused. Of course he refused. He wanted that title.
It's okay. But there was no look of defeat in his face. There was a look of, well, I'm going to do the damn.
Oh, there was when he was defeated.
When he was defeated, yes. But I'm saying before that. God, you're almost as bad as Kyle.
I'm channeling Kyle just a little bit.
That's what it is.
I think you bring it out in people. I think you bring it out in people.
Yeah,
I blame you.
But
your producer just giggled at that.
Yeah, I know.
What does that tell you?
We'll talk about that one later.
You already fed her. She's fine.
Yeah, I know. But Nate giving a good fight, unfortunately, was not enough. He was eliminated, and it left Jackson and Joe. And Ryan was all sorts of stoked because he was like, "Joe, you're finally going to get your first MPX, singles
big
title."
moment.
A big moment for him. And Jackson didn't seem to be feeling it.
Well, Jackson wanted that title for himself.
Yeah.
Larger Than Life felt that Joe deserved to get his first title. They said, Jackson, you've already had this chance, and they were not all on the same page.
No, I'd say definitely not.
It was great hair on this microphone.
But
I know it wasn't you, Kyle.
Yeah, not enough hair there.
Shot number 2.
But back to the match. Jackson took a few moments to consider it and made his intentions very well known as he laid into Ryan, Tommy, and then Joe, even hitting Joe with a key crusher to try and finish him off with a pin. But Ryan was back up, knocked Jackson off, and they hit him with a 4K to let Joe, who was probably not even aware that he was pinning Jackson.
Well, I mean, when your head hits that knee, things tend to go black really fast.
Yeah. So, allowing Joe to pick up the win, pick up his first singles title.
New prospect champion.
Yeah. So
it's a 6-pack elimination match. There are no rules. Yeah. No rules got broken, unfortunately.
Yeah, when it comes to these things that have very specific win conditions and everything like that, and disqualification isn't among them, people tend to get fairly suddenly they're all rules lawyers for wrestling matches. I mean, if you think about the Ultimate Surrender match, Tatum Manning coming in, and everything. They're
After
like,
he
oh,
beat up
he
Frankie
wasn't the
Fisher?
legal man. I still don't believe that. I think there's more to the story because even Frankie's saying you hear people talk, which suggests that he didn't actually see who attacked him.
Well, I think if he saw who it was, he would know exactly who it was.
Yeah. So,
But he says he knows who it was.
well,
So that, by that logic, that means he saw who it was.
yeah, but he's not saying he saw who it was. He said people.
Did
talk.
you see who it was?
No.
Then you have just speculation. You're just making
That's-
rumors up.
That's all I have. That's all a whole lot of people have, except for
Most of the
apparently
media,
whoever it was who
most of the media
actually-
deals in facts. Jay deals in rumors and innuendo, double entendres, sexual innuendo.
What, really, really? I'm glad I marked this one as not for kids.
Blink twice if you need help. So Jackson Stone loses,
Jackson
and
Stone
Joangelo
loses.
Garcia is now your prospect champion.
Yeah. Is he going to start his defenses as of this Saturday?
No.
No?
No.
No. Well, pity. Because there are people out there who are saying that Joe is not a legitimate or proper prospect champion. I think Joe.
Maybe that's why he declined to come back this week.
uh,
Also, I think the Key Crusher may have a little bit to do with that.
Yeah, needing a bit of recovery time after that, I can
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, he got rattled pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, he is your MPX prospect champion.
Yeah.
Joining
so-
Larger Than Life as the tag team champions.
And with Jackson apparently probably leaving that team up.
Well, you would think that that relationship is probably on the outs at this point.
Well, there are people who think that House Sagan is still around, so.
Well, they are. They're in a casket together. I'm sorry. Yeah, casket. Yeah.
Are the
Coffin
rest of
has
them
the
in the casket?
lid, casket opens. So casket, yeah.
Because I know Dave, ejected Lizzie at least.
Well, they're no longer a couple, is my understanding.
Yeah.
I've sent her several DMs, but I haven't heard back from her. I'm up at 62 right now. But she's coming around.
Blink, blink. Okay.
It's a sports reference for today in case no one caught that.
Yeah.
Guy from the Mets got fired, 62 unsolicited messages to a female reporter.
Oh, wow.
He was the general manager of the Mets.
The Mets.
62 unsolicited. Last message was a D pick.
Oh, of course.
Because after 61, if she's not responding,
Yeah,
that's the one that's going to get her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's total turn on, guys. Everybody wants to see your mushroom. This is why MPX finds CJ Ward, so we don't have to see
Every
that.
single week.
But the main event,
Main event.
the one that led to a lot of controversy,
A lot of controversy.
as Tatum Manning, the
Tatum
South
Manning.
Lake sensation, the Manning of the hour. That's a new one. That's funny. Took on Sky DeLacrimosa. of the
That's not a
Texas
new one.
Chainsaw.
That's one been around for a while.
Manning of the hour.
Yeah. Andre's the only one that ever remembers it, though.
Oh, okay. Must have been.
I mean, he
like-
can't remember how to say Malin, but he remembered that.
I was wondering about that because I was like, I do rely on the announcers to let us know. It's like, okay, how do you say this person's name?
Malin.
Malin. Is it the six or the six?
I think that's Facebook. You need a last name.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if I'm quite honest, I believe that's what it is.
Yeah,
Because
that-
she just tells us to call her Malin. I'm sorry. Isaac tells us to call her Malin.
Yeah, I don't know if she doesn't seem the talkative type.
I've never talked to her.
Yeah. But apparently Isaac has, and now she is the Empress of Excessive Violence.
Empress of excessive violence.
Yeah. Speaking of which, what was up with Tatum coming out with the XV, just like backwards even?
I think that he was prepared for excessive violence. And how would you make an X and a V backwards?
Well, it's supposed to be the X and then the V, left to right. He had it right to left.
But if you're in a mirror, then you're okay.
Explain it then.
That means he did it himself and nobody else did it.
Yeah.
He didn't realize what he was doing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you can see that on the network.
Yeah, definitely.
Am I being loud enough, producer? Can you hear me fine? Thank you. I don't have any headphones at work, so I could have brought my own if I'd known this was going to happen. Kyle, you should have told me.
Kyle doesn't like to have the headphones in the first place.
Kyle has gone radio silent since I was announced as his replacement. So either he's sick and asleep, or he's just pissy.
Yeah.
Also, my mom said I'm not allowed to swear on the internet.
I'm sorry.
So thanks for getting me in trouble, Jay. Main event time, though.
Yeah, main
Tatum
event,
Manning,
yeah.
Sky De La Cremosa, MPX championship. Malin at ringside for the champion. What would happen? Jay.
Well, Tatum would put up a hell of a fight, and things would not go his way at all because, actually, not even because of Malin all that much. I mean, she tried to do stuff, but Tatum is used to having a bit of help around the ring, so he knew how to counter it. But it was when
My mom says you need to speak up.
I do. Okay, that makes sense. But
Your producers should be warning you of these things.
yeah, you'd think. But
you're gonna get in so much fucking trouble when you get home, Jay.
so much trouble. But it was Casey Clay.
Casey Clay.
That led to the ultimate downfall.
The #1 contender to the MPX championship.
Yeah.
Can we point that out?
Honestly, you'd think that he would have waited for Tatum to win the match so that he could defeat Tatum and take the belt away from him. But yeah.
Well, yes and no, because after the match was over with, and let's not forget that Carl Knight tasted Sky De La Cremosa's boot before this happened. Sky De La Cremosa defeated Tatum Manning with the Death by Stereo. After the match, Casey and Tatum face-to-face in the ring. Frankie Fisher shows up and gives Tatum Manning a code breaker.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Now, if I could hypothesize to you, if you're Casey Clay and you know Frankie's coming for Tatum Manning, and it seemed obvious that he knew Frankie was there to me, and you know that Frankie wants a piece of Tatum Manning.
Yeah.
If Tatum Manning becomes MPX champion, that means Frankie's facing the MPX champion, not you.
So is that match happening next week?
What match?
The Frankie versus Tatum.
No, I have not signed anything because I can't get Frankie to call me back. However, I do have a match signed for the Texas Rumble now.
Oh, really?
Casey Clay versus the MPX champion, who at this time is Sky De La Cremosa.
So that's going to happen between Casey and Sky at the Rumble of all places.
And the tickets are already on sale and selling, I might want to add. Yeah. And I'm going to, just right now, if you're going to be at the Texas Rumble, I don't think we're going to be at 100% capacity yet.
No.
Which means by the time you decide you want to go to Texas Rumble, it could sell out.
Yeah.
Get your tickets now. That's serious.
Get your tickets now. Get your season tickets for February now.
I mean, you saw last week. We were at our capacity last week for what we can do.
Really?
So, I mean, we had standing room over here.
Yeah.
So it's serious. You're going to have 30 of the best wrestlers in Texas in this thing, and we've got people coming into this thing that you're going to. The announcement of Angel Camacho alone should make everybody like, "What?
Huge one.
Who the hell would throw him out?" Obviously not Dimitri.
No, obviously not. Maybe Brixton.
Maybe Brixton, who is also in it.
Yeah.
We're about to dump on that Facebook page a list of guys who have already accepted.
Oh, really?
Just because you won in the Rumble doesn't mean you get in the Rumble. You have to be invited. The first wave of invites went out, I think, in early December or November.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
And they all came in. We just haven't announced everybody yet, but the second wave's about to go out. But the interest has been huge from the wrestlers themselves. We just obviously, even 30 sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's not anywhere near the size of the number of people that work on the show.
How many active promotions are there in Texas alone? And each of them has 5 to 10 guys, and some of them have really good wrestlers.
Yeah, but they're probably the same guys who we wrestle.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But that is.
And everybody on our show that gets advertised actually wrestles on the show.
Yeah.
They don't just show up; they wrestle.
Yeah.
So
if you're on the card, you're on the card.
We don't put people on a flyer and then they just do a promo. They actually wrestle.
Yeah. If that, show up and just stand around backstage.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah.
We don't even like that, to be honest with you.
But speaking of the Rumble. Do we have any more reveals that you can give here?
I just gave you the MPX Championship match.
Well, okay, that's true. But I'm talking, it's like people are very interested in the Rumble itself. That's one of the biggest.
Well, who do we know that's in it already?
Yeah, we know that Brixton Shaw,
right?
Dimitri Alexandrov, and Angel Camacho.
Yes.
So.
That's who's been announced so far.
That's who's been announced?
Not Casey Clay and not Sky De La Cremosa.
That
Currently. Now, should Sky De La Cremosa drop the championship between his match now and his match with Casey Clay and now, then we would invite Sky De La Cremosa into the Rumble. I would cut somebody to put him into the Rumble.
Is there somebody who can beat Sky between now and the Rumble? I mean, Casey is a rising star, and he's definitely good enough that I think he has a chance. But is there anybody else who's good enough for that?
I mean, any man with one good leg and 2 fists and 2 feet could at any time defeat anybody.
Can we book that guy? Because I hear there's a problem.
We are not booking that guy.
That's what I thought. But let's talk about the fallout.
The fallout from Parabellum.
Yes.
So,
because I know nothing about what's going on.
All right. So the big news we've got: ROH, Chikara, Dojo Pro Star, Yuta is going to be on the show. Wheeler Yuta will be on the show, and he will be facing the star of the show, Jackson Stone. Ooh. So, if you've seen Dojo Pro on Amazon Prime, and he would be on that along with Aaron Sorlo, and I think Ricky Starks was on there, if I'm not mistaken, and a couple others. And it was a show they did for Prime where they had a championship that you continued to defend. If you lost, you're vanquished, you're out of the tournament, and the new guy becomes champion and continues on. And Yuta was in that. He's as technically proficient a star as you'll see out of Chikara to begin with. And we've seen Jigsaw, we've seen Hermit Crab, we've seen Fire Ant, we've seen Orange Cassidy, not necessarily technically proficient, but we know what all these guys can do because they've all been to MPX before. So I encourage you all to get here to see Yuta before we get to a point where we can't see him anymore.
Yeah, that does tend to be a problem. We get these big name stars in.
We don't get big name. I'm going to stop you. I don't think we get big name stars in, but we get guys who we know are good, and we know you're going to enjoy watching. Sometimes we bring in people that not every MPX act sitting here knows. They know the guys who are on Monday Night Raw, and they're going to show up every other week to MPX because that's what they, basically it's not in their budget to come every single week. And they try to make the big shows when someone comes out. Yeah. I can tell you the first night that we had Leva Bates here, I guarantee you 50% of that crowd didn't know who she was. Or and maybe more than that, had never even seen her wrestle.
I'll be honest, I was actually really shocked when she came in during the 2018 Texas Rumble because I only knew her as Blue Pants.
Yeah.
For NXT.
Yeah, that was her big thing. That was a big thing for her.
But I've got to say, I liked her better here at MPX.
So did I. I like the cosplay thing, yeah. But I tell you, like, we bring in Hornswoggle, I think 99% of our crowd knew who Hornswoggle was.
Oh, yeah. And I've got to say, I've actually gotten a couple of people to subscribe to the network because between Hornswoggle having been on the show multiple times and then, the whole Matt Palmer making an impact.
Oh, yes. He
that
just
was a big one.
Against Moose, yeah. But when we bring people in, I mean, it started with X-Pac, who, let's face it, that was, 4 years ago? 5 years ago? 6 years? 5 years? Something like 5 years ago, I think it is. And that was done to really make sure everybody knew where the hell we were. Because that was a huge name in all of the area bringing over. I don't think anybody's ever brought in anybody as big as X-Pac for a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Now, I know that they've had Kevin Nash has shown up at different places for signing, but he didn't wrestle.
Yeah.
X-Pac wrestled a match.
X-Pac Nash wrestle anymore?
Probably not. But X-Pac won the tag team titles with Jerome Daniels that night that he was here. Hey. He wrestled while he was here. So Tommy Dreamer, when he comes in, he wrestles for us. And I know that sometimes you get some of the ECW guys, and they're a little bit older, but I don't think anybody can say that they came to watch Tommy Dreamer and they were disappointed.
I certainly wasn't.
Any of the times he's been here.
Yeah.
And we've got those on the network as well. The network has all this stuff on there. Even the X-Pac match. There's no commentary on it, but it's on that network. But when we bring somebody in, they're working. They're working hard to show what they can do.
Oh, yeah.
And the guys that and women, because, we've had Kira Hogan in before, Mia Yim in before. Mia Yim you might know as, like, from NXT, right?
Yeah.
And from Retribution. I don't know what the heck she's called in that. But
so
I mean,
sorry for her with that.
Leva Bates has come in. So a lot of our, Thunder Rosa has been here many times.
And she's a huge name now.
The Thunder Rosa Leva Bates match at Purple Rain
Mm-hmm.
that is very popular on the network. It's a lot of views.
Mm.
But when we bring these guys in, they're working hard, and they're working as hard as the people that are pitted against them in a match.
Mm-hmm.
They're out there. They know that I'm in the match with this wrestler, and I'm going to have eyes on me, and I'm going to show out. Look what Sky did against Tommy Dreamer in the beginning of the year last year,
Yeah.
and look what happened to Sky by the end of the year. That kicked off a huge year for Sky de la Cremosa.
It really did, and honestly, it's like Tommy Dreamer's been one of the hardest working guys in the business forever, and for him to give props to Sky with that match. And,
He beat him.
Well,
He pinned Tommy Dreamer 1, 2, 3. Of course, he's going to give him props after the match.
Yeah,
He
that's
pinned
because
him.
Tommy Dreamer's a stand-up guy, but
And he pinned him in an Extreme Rules match.
Mm-hmm. Which just honestly, I'm willing to bet that you're absolutely right when you say that was the kickoff for it, because from there on he was just nearly unstoppable. I mean, he had a little trouble when he.
I miss you too, Heather.
With legs, but
that was Phoebe.
Oh.
Kayfabe.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. But it's like it really did. I mean, then come on, he rightfully won Wrestler of the Year last year for the MPX.
He,
Awards.
as voted by you, the MPX addicts.
Although I'm sure there was a certain contingent that would say somebody else, but
who would they say?
Tatum Manning.
Tatum had a strong case. He was
he
one
did.
of the he was one of the top 4 finalists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Tatum's been on, but I would say that Tatum's been on fire since about Purple Rain.
Yeah.
And I think that Sky, when he went into that Tommy Dreamer match, he was on a roll, and I think that strapped a rocket on his back.
It really did. And,
so if it's for the whole year, I think Sky was the right choice.
Yeah, I agree with that. I voted for Sky on that one.
Why didn't you vote for Larger Than Life for Tag Team of the Year? That's what I don't get.
What?
Yeah, he was the guy that didn't vote for them.
No. I still want to see those votes. I didn't. I didn't actually.
Your Jamie
see
bias is showing. Let's talk about this week, the Fallout.
Yes.
The Fallout.
What else is going to happen? I mean, we've got that big match.
Somebody should know this information.
Yeah, somebody should.
Somebody should. I know it. Hold on one second. I can't remember where I am half the time, much less what's going on.
He's been doing this for a long time, folks. They all kind of run together after a point.
They do run together. I know Tatum Manning's here. I know Casey Clay is here. And in fact, what we are currently trying to sign is Casey and Sky to face each other in a tag match. We are going to allow them to pick their partners. I don't have any partners signed as of yet.
Oh.
They haven't told me who it's going to be.
Interesting.
I told you about Yuta versus Jackson Stone. I can tell you that Larger Than Life will be here. I can tell you that after dealing with Eden Grace all day Sunday, Brixton Shaw will be here.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, Eden Grace did put out on the on MPX mainland. You need to go on to the MPX Addicts page and let creative and let the management know that Brixton Shaw deserves a title shot.
Again, you
So
guys
she
don't.
says.
You guys don't have to deal with her. Please, I get it. Brixton's here. It's fine. He's not getting a title shot, but he's here.
Oh.
I know that we've signed Noah Navarro to appear this week.
Very good.
And we may have a return or two happening as well. There's been several people who have been out for various reasons, and we hope to have one of them back for this show.
Oh, good.
Also, and Jay, this is for you. Zero will be on the show.
Woohoo. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know how that's going to end. It usually ends the same way. But
Does end the same way.
But that does
But
sound like it's going to be a hell of a show.
But damn, is it a good win for somebody?
I'm sorry, Zero. That shouldn't be funny, but it is.
That's your spokesperson, Zero.
I try. That doesn't mean I will succeed.
He never succeeds. I give you credit, though, Jay. I think that you are just so passionate about everything, and I love it. I love it. That's why I wanted, when I heard Kyle wasn't going to be on here, that's why I wanted to be on here, because I didn't want you guys to skip, because I think it's a great thing for everybody to listen to be quite honest.
I actually really do appreciate that, having you on the show here. It was definitely a different experience and a learning experience for me.
But we're not done, Jay. It's only 8 o'clock.
It's only 8 o'clock? Wow.
It's only 8 o'clock.
geez, then we've been doing this since what, 7:15? Wow, that's actually a really short show. But then again, you and I didn't go off on the same tangents that me and Kyle go off on.
You and Kyle will still be on match number 3 at this point.
Yeah.
Also, I text Kyle a lot during the show and make fun of you.
Yeah, I know.
So when he's laughing, that's me making fun of you.
I know.
Today I just did it to you, and it wasn't even that bad, right?
No,
See, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
So let's talk more about the Texas Rumble. Who else
Yeah.
do you think should be invited?
Ooh,
Give me your top 5 names not already in the Rumble that
Not
you think
already
should
in
be
the
in the Rumble.
Rumble.
And I'm going to tell you why they're not.
Well, let's see. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen this, but Joe Angelo Garcia, I think he'd succeed in the Rumble.
I think Joe would definitely succeed in the Rumble, especially if Larger Than Life is in the Rumble with him, because those 3 would work hard together. That's the weird thing. If it actually did come down to those 3, I literally think people would be jumping over the top rope for each other.
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
And they would probably do it for Joe since they've both been MPX champion before. I could definitely see that working out.
And honestly, it's like that would really work out for Joe because if he gets all 4 of his wins with the Prospect Championship and then wins
the number 1 contender spot.
Yeah. That is basically that's a backup plan right there, right in his back pocket. And
you know how hot you would be right then and there if you got 4 wins in a row and were the number 1 contender for the Texas Rumble.
How's that ever happened?
I can tell you at one point Mace Malone was the Prospect champion, one half the tag champions, and then cashed in and won the MPX championship. And I got a picture somewhere with him holding every single belt we've got, including both tags. But beyond that, I'm not 100% sure it's happened. And with the addition of the Addicts title when it came in, that kind of threw a little bit of a dynamic off because you had several Triple Crown winners, and you still do. But, I mean, I think we only have 2 Grand Slam winners, Kirby and Sagan, right?
Yep.
Now, there's a bunch of guys.
Dave Sagan, our second. Yep.
There's a bunch of guys who are on that cusp that are about to be if they can get that one final win. And for a lot of them, it's not even the MPX championship. It's the Addicts title that they got to get.
Yeah, it's like they're going for what a lot of people consider to be the quote-unquote mid-card championship. Personally, it's my favorite championship of the 3.
Yeah, the Addicts gets defended more than any other belt, really.
And honestly, I think that's one of the big reasons it's my favorite is because we see the defenses more often.
It is, and you said mid-card. It's like the TV title on the old NWA shows, To me, it was like one of those titles you want to see the most of, but you're also not going to get the long... I mean, there was that big Tully and Dusty match or feud, but you're not going to get... You're not going to get long, drawn-out rivalries for that one belt. They're usually moving on from challenger to challenger to challenger, and I like that. I don't want to...
Yeah, and that's worked out really well, both for the title and for the guys who held it. I mean, most of them have been either they were MPX champion or they've moved on to be MPX champion at least once. I mean, even the inaugural champion who held it for 2 months.
Dimitri was the inaugural champion. That belt was designed to only be on Friday nights when we were running like once a month on Fridays. And then we had Harry Potter show and a Jurassic Park show.
I know people miss those,
and
but
then
unfortunately
a
it's
Power
on
Rangers.
us.
We did it's your fault we don't have those shows anymore.
Yeah, it's on us.
You guys would have shown up to the gigantic smorgasbord of Turtles and Power Rangers that one week and Batman that one weekend. We'd still be doing those things.
Whose idea was to put that melting pot together?
That was mine.
That was you?
That was mine.
It was a brilliant idea, boss. I loved it. It was great.
I did not. I came here. I was running late from work, and I watched everybody getting costumes, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then I sat out here and watched it with the other 16 people, and I go, well, we're not doing this ever again.
And you injured our champion, too.
I didn't injure our champion. He got injured getting punched, trying to move from a punch, and he slipped and he hurt his knee.
Yeah.
That's not my fault. That's Fred's fault.
Yeah. But honestly, it's like I know people miss those, and honestly, I think
I do
Scooby-Doo
too.
show
I do too.
Last October, that was definitely kind of whet a lot of people's appetites. Maybe if people would commit to buying tickets, we could get them back.
The Scooby-Doo show, I think we got right, and that was the thing that really upset me about that last show. I think we got right to the part. All of this was kind of like designed by us because nobody else was doing stupid shit like this.
Yeah.
But we finally got the right ratio of how do we want to do the video, how do we want to do the entrance, how do we want to... Everything was a trial by error, if you will. Writing a TV show and writing a wrestling show are two entirely different
monsters.
animals. And when you say, I'm going to, book a wrestling show, you're going to have matches. And you're going to say, this is the first match, this is the last match. When you have a TV show, the Power Rangers can fight putties in their normal clothes and then turn into Power Rangers and fight the big bads all within 30 minutes. In real life, you can't get dressed that fast.
I mean, they did a pretty good job of it.
They did, but I'll tell you what, when the Green Ranger was defeating his 5th Power Ranger in a row, and then the 10-man tag was coming, and that Green Ranger looked over at me like he was going to kill me after the show, I started to understand what the real difference between an action-packed TV show is and a wrestling show.
That just proves that the Green Ranger has, it's like he has the tenacity to do what he loves.
He has immortal endurance that night is what he had. But I do like those shows. That's a lot of work. Jamie Aller was instrumental in putting those Power Ranger stuff together. He made me watch like 85 episodes, it felt like, of Power Rangers. It was probably like 2 or 3. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I never watched Power Rangers before, but I knew who they were because I'm a nerd. But I never watched them, and I'm never going to watch them again. And then he made me watch them again for the second one. But he put together a lot of the video stuff we had as far as Rita on the big screen. And Livia Loca as Rita was awesome.
That was perfect.
That was all her. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Leva Bates as Pink Ranger worked out really well in our favor. Putting her as
the second show as
where she becomes White Ranger. Spoiler alert! But if you watch that one, that was the big letdown because she got hurt right in the beginning of that match, and she fought through that injury, and then it bled over into the next night where she was Sandman, and she was barely able to walk. So, but she was already flown into town for 2 nights. So,
honestly, you almost couldn't tell because I think people were just really hyped up on her being the Sandman.
You could tell on Friday. You could tell because she could barely walk on that leg. But she gutted it out. But she did the same thing after she got stabbed. So
yeah, I was like, she's a hell of a performer, and she is,
she takes a lot of punishment when she comes here.
Yeah, and yet she somehow just loves to come to MPX. I don't get it. Glutton for punishment.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, sure.
No, the fans always treat her like she's family when she's here. She's one of those people that's going to stay to the very end to make sure every last autograph is signed, and they love her. They love her, and Thunder Rosa, same way.
Oh, yeah. Well, Thunder Rosa feels like she's one of ours anyway. I mean, we haven't seen her in a blue moon, but...
She keeps getting busy. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. It's almost like she's making a huge name for herself all over the place. Right? But back to who else I'd want to see in the
yeah, because you've named one.
Yeah, I named one.
And that guy wasn't even on a Friday show before. We got on Friday shows somehow.
Yeah.
That's a rabbit hole. Which you can watch on the MPX network as you can follow me down the rabbit hole as I have different interviews with different wrestlers about different matches. And we talk about all kinds of shit just like this.
Anytime soon?
God, I hope not.
Were those not fun?
They were okay. No. I did one with Dave Sagan where I almost shot myself in the head afterwards. Not really, but it was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in wrestling was try to talk to Dave Sagan during that thing.
Okay, trying to talk to Dave Sagan on just about anything.
No, I mean, you would think it would be really...
not prepared for it. It's a trip.
I've known Dave for a couple years, and this would be really easy. And it was like, I was like, stop, we're not doing this anymore.
I have a recorded show from back when we were still MPX Radio of just after he went Emo Dave.
I love Emo Dave.
And which
you can see on the network.
Most of his interaction with us was just him reciting lyrics to Zombie.
I liked Emo Dave.
For some reason, I never got that one out, even though that would have been gold.
Behind the scenes info. Either it was going to be Zombie or the Black Parade. And if you watch that match he's in, we used both. We used Zombie for his entrance and we used Black Parade for his exit because I wasn't sure which one we wanted because I like both songs a lot. I think we made the right choice, though.
Zombie was honestly the right choice because it was new, and so therefore,
There's I think it's the first match where he comes out after he loses his prospect title and he's walking through the guardrail. Some of my favorite things happen right at the guardrail. I'm going to tell you about 3 of them. Dave Sagan in emo phase, walking through the guardrail, and one of the MPX addicts standing next to him as he's standing there, singing Zombie to him into the air as he's walking by. Number 2, if you watch Destiny, I think 2019, and it's Scott McKenzie and Hardakis, or is it Purple Rain? Maybe
Yeah, that would be a Purple Rain because that's where they took each
it was
other.
when Hardakis is in the white outfit.
Ah, yeah.
So maybe it's 2018. So Hardakis is wearing white. McKenzie's champion.
That was 2019.
No.
Yeah, because 2018 was where Scott beat the hell out of everybody to get his championship match against Hardakis because he held it for like 2 seconds at God, what match was it?
I don't think so. 2019,
'Cause he
the
beat
Rumble
Jason.
was won by Dave Sagan. So Dave Sagan and Wesley was that was 2020. So you're right. It is 2019. So Destiny
2020 was a long 10 years.
man. So 2019, Hardakis is facing Scott McKenzie at Destiny. Great open package done. And if you watch the entrances on there, Hardakis is out first, and he goes down the ramp. He takes his left, and he gets that corner. And I know one of the kids is Langley. I don't know who the other ones are. Actually, I think one of them is Scott McKenzie's kid. And they're all dressed in their Hardakis masks. And Hardakis sees them, and and they're doing this to Hardakis, where he does his hand raised up, right? And it's like, oh, that's really cute. McKenzie comes down the ramp. Again, I think one of those kids was McKenzie's. McKenzie comes down the ramp, takes the left, and gets to that corner, and they all do it to McKenzie, who's looking at them like, you little sons. After the match, Hardakis wins. After the match.
Little cultists.
And after the match, Hardakis has won. He's got the title. He makes sure he stops right at that corner, and with the belt, he does it with all of them right at the guardrail. They all enthusiastically do it again. He gives them all the claw on the head. And I'm like, man, that was awesome.
That is, I miss Hardakis.
And then number 3 was like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, Mr. Legs versus Sky de la Cremosa. Same corner almost. Same corner almost.
That seems to be the kid corner.
Yeah, right over there where the old living room used to be. And there was this little girl, and she's funny as heck to watch. And if you saw her, you know exactly which little girl I'm talking about. She's a huge Mr. Legs fan. And when he came out, she's jumping up and down. And he gets to her, and he starts doing starts doing the squats with her, and she starts doing them with him. And man, and we tried to put it in one of the videos we just made for the commercial for the live show.
Actually.
That's her. Yeah. That's her in the background doing those. Yeah, it's just cute as hell.
Yeah. I've got to say, it's like
I think she's the Gino girl too, the one that just yells Gino every time Gino Medina comes. She stands on somebody's chair and goes Gino and like reaches for him.
And Gino tries so hard to be an asshole. That whole
she doesn't care.
Yeah.
She does not care. She loves Gino.
Yeah, I don't blame her. He's a good guy,
All right, calm down. Keep it in your pants, man. Jesus.
Really?
I apologize.
Really?
Went off the rail right there, Jay. It's obvious on your face. My God.
Third person, Mr. Legs. Want to see him in the Rumble.
I can guarantee you Mr. Legs got an invite to the Rumble. I don't know if he's in yet, but I know he was invited.
Oh, good. Let's see. Jackson Stone?
Everybody is invited to the Rumble.
Okay, good.
No, not everybody. Jackson Stone, everybody. Jackson Stone is invited to the Rumble.
And you know what? I've already been accused of being too much a fan of him.
Johnny O'Mara is not invited into the Rumble as of yet.
Yet.
I don't know if he will be. I can just tell you as of yet he is not.
I hope he is because I think he, especially if he can get Zero in there.
Johnny O'Mara's gotten in shape, man.
Oh, he really has.
I think he's trained with Dante Smiley, and he hasn't gotten in shape.
Oh, he's kicking a lot of ass.
Zero has been drinking extra just to make up for Johnny getting in shape.
I mean, they still, do the brawls, so, it works.
No, Johnny goes to bed now like at 10.
What?
He's getting in shape. He's got to be up in the morning to work out.
Johnny, why?
Zero is drinking extra. I have beer at my house still for Zero that he didn't finish drinking, by the way. I don't think it's any good anymore. It's been in there for a while.
Yeah. But those are the five of the guys I'd like to see in the match. Honestly, there's a whole bunch of guys I'd love to see in the Texas Rumble. But honestly, when it comes to people who I think could take it, I'd think the 3 confirmed ones are the biggest possibilities.
Angel, Brixton, and Dimitri. I think they're all in their own way. I think Angel's the favorite just because, one, I don't know how you're going to get him on the ring. Here's the key to Angel. If Angel's in the top 10 coming in,
Mm-hmm.
he ain't going to win. He doesn't have the endurance to last 20 other guys, plus whatever's in there. I don't think so.
That's a possibility. I mean, he could.
Now,
he could surprise everybody.
If he's in the final 10, look out.
Oh yeah.
That's when you're in trouble because he's fresh all the time.
You have a fresh Angel at the end of the match and everything like that. Everybody else is already beat up and tired and just exhausted.
Yeah, that's my point. If he's in the top 10, remember Angel's powerful and he's deceptively quick in the beginning of his matches. Now, he went, we saw him in the ring with Dimitri for like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he slow down at all? I don't think so.
No.
That's like 5 people in a Rumble.
True.
So all of a sudden it's like, oh, hold on a second. And that's more than one person in the ring with you, too, at most times. Now, if he gets in there, let's say, I'm not ruling this out, but let's say he gets in there at number 6 and he immediately throws everybody out, and every time somebody comes in, he throws them out. Yeah. We saw Jamie's whole group try that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can run that, you're going to win. We've seen people in WWE do that. Brock Lesnar did that, last year?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he threw out like 12 guys in a row or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you get Angel in at number 18, look out.
Yeah. But then again, it's been things like, when Jamie and Creative Control and the McKenzies and everybody, controlled the ring.
Okay, so they were not Creative Control. I was Creative Control. Okay. I was the head of Creative. Jamie was head of Creative, but they didn't call him Creative Control. I'm going to have to stop you right there.
I apologize.
Your inaccuracies. Jamie, I apologize.
But they held it for a while and even went through a few wrestlers, Richter and Lizzie and everybody like that. But
what's Lizzie going to do in a Rumble? She's a girl.
I know a few girls who would take umbrage with that. But
Lizzie's not one of them. She understands.
But it was
Thunder Rosa had a
Palmer
real good run one time.
Hardakis came out. That they just kind of,
Hardakis started it. Yeah, Hardakis started it, and then Palmer finished it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because Jamie was, he was prepared for Hardakis. He was, prepared for Hardakis.
This was 2019, right?
Yeah.
That was the Rumble where Brett McKenzie got ripped open going over the top rope.
Mm-hmm.
Got blood everywhere. He was bleeding. All the network.
We didn't have COVID yet, so that wasn't a problem.
Absolutely. You can watch it on the network. Texas Rumble 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Brett came out. If you see him on that floor where he's holding, he got ripped from like his wrist all the way down to the end of his pinky finger.
Ow.
Yeah, it was really bad.
That hurts.
Brett bleeds a lot over here in this building for weird stuff.
Yeah. But I think it was Jamie was really just unprepared for Matt Palmer to come out because Palmer was still looking for his pound of flesh.
And you don't know when the number is going to come up. That's the thing. You don't nobody knows the order.
Yeah.
And they're kept outside, and then they get their name called.
So it's like it could be anybody's game.
Is she like getting dog treats over there with all that crunching? What's going on over there?
No. What's going on?
Getting dog treats over there? What's going on? A lot of rattling going on there, producer.
I don't know. But
you gotta keep your eye on her, don't you?
A bit.
You get so dead.
I'll pay for that one.
So dead. You gotta get in the house. You get locked out, sitting on the balcony.
Luckily, I have
there.
my own key. I'm good. Ow.
See, told you.
Spousal abuse. But it's like Brixton Shaw and Dmitry Alexandrov. I think they have it in them to possibly be Iron Man.
If Brixton Shaw can stay undefeated to the Rumble, let's say he does, and then let's say he wins the Texas Rumble, no matter what number he comes in.
Yeah.
Let's say he number 30, number 1, doesn't matter. If he can stay undefeated in MPX for this many months, and then win the Rumble, not even Hardakis did that. Just to put that into perspective, that guy lost 2 matches by pinfall ever, but his very first Rumble.
Jason Silver put him
on the top rope.
Yep.
So if Brixton Shaw was able to do that.
Right there, front and center.
Did you see that? If Brixton Shaw can do that, he'll do something that even Hardakis couldn't do. I mean, that's how difficult it is to stay undefeated, number one.
Yeah.
But then to win the Rumble as you're undefeated, I mean, you got a target on you. And Hardakis did have a target on himself at that time.
Yeah, he really did. And honestly, it's with the it's like here at MPX, you said staying undefeated is like a hard task to
difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. It's you get so many different people thrown at you here at MPX. You know, it's like some of the matchups are just not random, but it's like they're unexpected. So,
Well, we have a lot of talent that will come
Mhm.
in. I mean, I've got these two jerks that always complain that they don't have enough tag teams. They've gotten a new tag team every single week since November, but yet we don't have enough tag teams. They don't acknowledge that. So allow me to show them exactly what they are getting each and every single week. And you know what? You're going to get a new tag team again this week.
Oh, good.
I don't know who it's going to be, COVID, but it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, we'll see on that one. But let's see. What are we at? Okay,
What?
that's actually longer than Kyle and I usually go. So
What?
we'll go ahead and call it here, addicts. Make sure you check out Parabellum this Friday on the MPX network because it was a hell of a show. And definitely
Got it, Kelly.
You know, you should definitely hear more of the boss's wisdom on this one. And check out MPX Mainline, MPX Rehab on YouTube, Spotify, things like that. And I guess we'll see you later.
How long can they
That's
hear us
really
while
cool.
we're still on the air? I mean, they can still hear me
I
right
actually
now.
don't know.
Do you remember when we used to do those interview things up front with
Oh, yeah,
Cody
no,
Cox?
those were fun.
Those sucked.
Yeah, they're
Man.
fun though.
Those sucked so bad.
We're good. Okay.
Ending now.